What to study and what not? कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा.
This is true. Many of the students don't happen to know and understand the syllabus even before first semester examination and gets frustrated towards the subject easily. So let's simplify the syllabus.
Hello everyone, this is Ipshita, a student of English Literature, and today we will be discussing, deciphering, explaining the entire point-to-point syllabus of English Literature for undergraduates, postgraduates, MPhil, PhD and more. My God, believe it or not, this is one of the most requested videos so far, and here it is, because my channel is democracy. You get what you want. So let's burst the first myth, that do English literature students have to study a lot? Ask me now.
Pause the video and give your opinion.
My answer is yes. Yes, you have to study a lot. You have to study a lot of storybooks, tales, fables, folklores, drama, novel, poem, even paintings. Still sounded boring? I bet. Tell me any course other than literature where you are reading storybooks and that's actually is the topic of exams. So, without beating around the bush, let's categorize syllabus. What is English literature? Literature is Sahitya or the books, stories, and English is the language or British as a country itself. So, English literature means the study of books and stories written or translated in English literature from all over the world. It can be initially written in Latin, French or in Hindi, that is English books written by Indian people. I won't be making separate videos on different universities. There are many such to cover, but I will make sure to provide you the detailed blueprint so that you don't have to go somewhere else to understand general syllabus. So, the syllabus of English literature comprises of history, story or literature, literary theory and criticism, and miscellaneous, in which we will discuss literary terms, linguistics, syllabus, rhetoric, these all things. But that's pretty much it. First and foremost is history. Let's take an example of any current scenario. Let's take this pandemic or corona thingy. During the time of corona, don't you think every news channel, newspaper, articles, pamphlets wrote and talked about pandemic only, some in positive and some in negative way. Poets and writers started writing stories about pandemic, depression, lockdown or on hope, courage and humanity. Everywhere it was writings about pandemic only. Can you see how any written material is inspired and related to history or current scenario? So, if you have to understand the reason of the writing, you have to know the cause of the writing. History and writing is thus correlated. If you want to understand any literature, you have to know the background of the literature, in which age and in which circumstances poet has written that. So, we divide history of British according to the incidents and the age, like we do in Indian history as well, like Mauryan dynasty, Gupta dynasty, East India Company rule, pre-independence, post-independence and so on.
Similarly, you have to go through the historical timeline of British as well, starting from Anglo-Saxon Britain, medieval Britain, Elizabethan age, Puritan age, Restoration age, Augustan age, age of revolution, Victorian era, modern and postmodern. Also remember the dates and events from the history to the present day.
After you have a brief and short idea about the origin of Britain, the kings and wars to present day government, you can study literature according and simultaneously with the history, which is so called history of English literature. And I have actually made the video on this topic, you can refer to that. This is the 70 to 80% of the syllabus. So, here we study the literature written in those historical era and also divide it according to literature or notable literary figures. They are
Anglo-Saxon literature, age of Chaucer, age of Shakespeare, Age of Elizabeth is actually called the Age of Shakespeare because he was the predominant writer of this period. Likewise, Puritan Age is named after Milton. Age of Restoration is named after Dryden. Augustan Age is named after Alexander Pope, following the Romantic, Victorian, modern and postmodern literature.
You have to know about the age and the poets. And now the most important part, you get to read and deeply analyze the work of great literary figures. Here you read stories, fiction, non-fiction, poems, dramas, novels, secret love letters, personal diaries and what not. Next comes the literary theory and criticism part. Now tell me, what do you do before watching any movie? You watch reviews by different critics who with their analysis will tell or suggest you if you should invest your time and money on that movie or not. And they might also tell and point out some of the flaws of the plot, storyline, music choices or direction. Similarly, literary critics criticize or praise any book or writer on basis of systematic method of literary theory. So, literary theory is the scholarly approach of reading, analyzing and examining texts, that if it has any feminist or anti-feminist traits.
So feminist movement and feminism is also a kind of literary theory through which we judge any text. Other major schools of literary theory are Marxism, psychoanalysis, new criticism, structuralism, deconstruction, postmodernism, so like.
And rest remains the miscellaneous section that comprises only a minimum of 5% of the entire syllabus, where I would like to mention literary terms, rhetoric, syllables, linguistics.
Poetic terms and devices are essential tools that a poet uses to create rhythm, enhance a poem's meaning, or intensify a mood or feeling. Irony, satire, humor, hyperbole are some examples of literary terms. And linguistics is the scientific study of language. The areas of linguistics include study of speech, sound like phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics and pragmatics. This is actually kind of grammar.
I will make a separate video and part 2 video of syllabus for this because it's already getting too much overwhelming. I hope this video has brought you some insight about the syllabus of English literature and what English honors students actually have to study. So that's it for today's video. Until then, happy learning. This is Ipshita signing off.